we'll just.
Welcome to the Weasel. Welcome to the Weasel. Whip out your dicks and shove them in your ass. Welcome to the Weasel with Mike and Jonah.
Yeah, daddy.
Yeah. Yeah. We're
Hey.
back. We're back for another episode of the Weasel Podcast. Welcome, everyone. We are sober and it sucks. But we're here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I'm learning things about myself. Like kind of like unfortunate thing. I mean, not maybe not unfortunate, but like um I realized, and maybe this doesn't sound like news to anybody else, but I realized that I sometimes use substances as a crutch to uh, get through life, manage my psyche, and all around augment my day to day.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also do that same thing.
Yeah, I think if you're listening to this right now and you're not a fucking nerd, you probably also use substances in this way.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, and not just substances, but like other things. Like we've talked in the last few episodes about alcohol abuse. We've talked about drug abuse. We've talked about porn. Porn's a big one, dude. I
oh
didn't
yeah,
realize
I'm checking
how.
in on your porn, dude. That's what I want to
Yeah,
know about.
I have not watched any porn, and I've gone through. And actually, dude, I've. Uh, and dude, this was difficult for me, dude. It really was. Okay, I went through my
Okay.
Instagram and I unfollowed all the things that I followed that like share titty or ass pics. I went through my Facebook and I
How
unfollowed and got rid of all the pages that I followed that post pictures of titties and
how
ass.
how many accounts
More than you would think, and
was it
more than
over?
I'm going to say on the podcast. It
Was
wasn't
it over
over 100.
half?
Was it? No, not even close. No. See, the thing about titty and ass pics, specifically like on Facebook, for example, right, is that there's not you don't need that many pages to follow that share
Cause
them because they're sharing them all fucking day, man, just
yeah.
constant. It's like blah blah
Is it
blah
hold on,
blah.
is this individual contributors? So like it's like one lady on a mission to get her ass front and center as much as possible? Or this is like a page of like, hey, we cultivate ass here.
Instagram, yes, it is like individual chicks that have titties and ass that they're sharing, and then as well as pages. But like on Facebook, it's typically just pages that cultivate and bring together like a museum does, right? Like they,
Yeah,
they they bring all the pictures together. Like, hey, for your viewing pleasure, here's some
sure.
more fucking ass. So I systematically went through them and then got rid of them all. And then the ones that did squeak through the cracks, when they did pop up, I would just go in there and instantly just done, unfollow, finished. So and I
Yeah.
think it's helped out a lot because most of the time I spend jerking off is on the toilet, which most people know that about me, but not everybody agrees it's the right place to do it. Everybody's, each to their own.
I think it's
Uh,
economical, dude, cuz then you can just shit and then stand up, turn around, bust your nutty into your poop water.
I don't even stand up and turn around. I just do it
What?
on the toilet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Like you just scoot your ass back and like blow your
the
yogurt in like the front bowl.
the feeling of forcing my hardened cock down and
Yeah.
like holding it, that brings me pleasure, right? So
Uh-huh.
leaning back, pushing it down, and then nutting into the bowl itself adds more to like the pleasure of busting the nut in the toilet for
You're
me.
kind of like halfway kinking the hose, Like you're
Right.
like
Yeah.
like not like a full kink, because that probably wouldn't feel good, but
No.
like just you're like halfway obscuring the full force tubature.
It's kind of like maybe, I don't know, somewhat, sort of, maybe kind of a little bit similar to wearing a cock ring for just a split second, right?
Gotcha.
Because as you bust, then you're putting all that tension and pressure onto the blood vessels, and it's just like, ooh, nice. I felt good. So I haven't been doing that either. But I did jerk off today.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. Listen, everybody, I wasn't gonna nut, and I'm kind of still contemplating nutting versus not nutting. But there was, I was a fucking asshole this morning to Kiralee, and I was an asshole yesterday to you and Kiralee, and I was just being a dickweed. And I'm like, you know what? Kiralee even said this. She's like, Torin, not even Mormons give up everything. And I'm like, that's so true. Right?
Yeah.
Like, because I've given up smoking drugs, I've given up drinking drugs, I've given up watching drugs, right? And I've denied myself all these things, and except, including like busting drugs. Like I'm just not gonna nut for a whole month. That's a crazy thing to think. So I'm trying to maybe change the way I go about this, and maybe do like once a week or like twice a week, and see how that goes. Draw it down a little bit.
I don't think you gotta limit your nuts, dude. I think that I mean, this is the way that I've been operating, and I think that it's been going pretty well for me. So no porn. And you're right. I did also like unfollow like my Reddit porn accounts that I was looking at.
Yeah.
And like I don't get on Instagram, so that wasn't a problem. So but like I did be like, hey, the best way to avoid it is to delete the fucking from the feed kind of thing.
Yeah, get rid of the source.
Yeah, but like I'm still jerking it, dude. I'm just jerking it to my mind,
Right.
I'm mind jerking.
Well, and that's what I did this morning. I didn't use any porn. I didn't look at anything like physical or anything. I just closed my eyes, put the butt plug in, fucking stroked it nice and nice, and yeah, it was like, and it was a good nut, right? it was a pretty.
I bet,
pretty
dude.
solid nut.
You've been saving up nut for like 2 weeks now.
Just about, yeah. Yeah, I was telling you yesterday about how me and the missus we did the dirty a bit, and I had to stop myself because I wasn't nutting, so I was like, ooh, and I was fucking angry, and I'm like, oh, and then we'd like keep going for a bit, and then I'd be like, oh, it was like, think dirty thoughts, think dirty thoughts, think dirty thoughts. And I'm like, I'm trying not to think. Stop it. Knock that shit off. Think unsexy thoughts then. I'm like, fuck, it's hard, It's really difficult to do when you're in the middle of sex. So short of like, and see, I'm deathly afraid of developing a kink for something that's unsexy, right? You think about like, you're thinking about, I don't know, old ladies shitting their pants, right? To try to get your fucking cock to go down. But it's already hard. So your brain's like,
you're just positive reinforcing old lady shit.
Yeah. Old ladies shitting their pants while I'm hard equals old ladies shitting their pants makes me hard equals fucking now I'm into old ladies shitting their pants. Same as feet, same as fucking smelling shoes, Like you don't sniff shoes while you're jerking off because now you have a shoe kink, right? It's weird. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I don't know if the system is that sensitive, but I don't think it's that sophisticated either.
Nah, I don't so, dude. I think you look at things, you get horny, and if you look at enough things while you're horny, I think eventually that'll just like, make you horny.
Yeah, I think that's how complexes develop.
Yeah. So,
yeah. Like I was trying to explain to you, dude, that like I think you need to pick between like no nut discipline, or are you just trying to do like an edging kink? So it sounds like you've you've, I don't know, found a middle ground there. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, it's at least in my mind, because I was thinking about what we talked about yesterday. At least in my mind, uh, I don't necessarily see a reason why they have to be exclusive. You know what I mean? I guess the way I look at it is like you can be disciplined with your kinks, right? Or the kink itself can become a disciplinary thing, right? So uh, like I don't know. It's hard to explain, especially because I'm not. I did it this morning, and now I'm like, because it was weird, right? So, not nutting for that long,
Mm-hmm.
I was fucking switched the fuck on, bro. At work last week, I was switched on the whole week, dude. Every single day, go in, switched on, do this shit, switched on, talking to people about shit, switched on, come home, switched on, working out, getting the house cleaned up. We've been organizing the house. When we came back from the States, we really hit it hard, like fucking minimizing the amount of clothes we got. We're just getting rid of shit we don't need anymore. Cleaning up the office, we're working on it still. It's kind of a mess. The garage, we're gonna go through all our camping stuff, get rid of shit we don't use or don't take when we go camping, and like.
And you think that your
Oh,
nut
one second.
fuel.
Someone's knocking at my door. 1 second. Fucking
Damn.
leave me the fuck alone.
Fuck, dude. Use some of that nut energy to open the door.
Whoa, dude, that is exciting, bro. I take back
Did you
what I
receive a
said.
parcel?
I did receive a parcel, dude. You want to see what it is?
Is it a butt plug?
No, dude. I wish, dude. That'd be fucking dope, bro.
Bro, yeah.
Shit.
I still haven't got my butt plug that I ordered when I was high.
I can smell it already. This parcel, sorry to totally derail you, because he wouldn't have left it there. He would have just fucking dropped. I would have had to go pick it up from the fucking place. You fucking open your fucking. Sorry, everybody. I'm a bit of a crude cunt.
Whoa. And that's post nut, so I would have hated to talk to you yesterday opening a parcel.
Dude, I was such a fucking asshole to Kiralee this morning. I was just a fucking dick.
What do you? I've never. I don't think I've ever seen you be like, oh, what a dick.
Yeah, I know, right? And I've never gone that long without nutting in a really long time. So,
Okay.
this is called rocket fuel. Okay.
Fuck, bro. Okay.
Now, I've got a deviated septum, right, from getting my nose broken. You also have a deviated septum from getting your nose broken, right?
Yeah.
Now, you have talked to me about going in and possibly getting a rhinoplasty to get that shit sorted out.
Yeah.
Surgery scares me. It's not a lot scares me, but surgery does. I don't like it. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Hospitals freak me the fuck out. So, there's this stuff that's from New Zealand. It's called rocket fuel, and it's got like fucking 15 different things in here, right, that are designed to cleanse your fucking nose. And people with deviated septums have reported that it actually helps them breathe through both sides of their nose at the same time. Right?
It sounds like some gimmicky shit, dude.
It does. So I'm going to try it right now.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah, man. I'm excited to see. I feel like you're just gonna.
Let me grab a spoon.
What the fuck, dude? You gotta boil it? What do you need a spoon for, dude?
What's that, sorry?
What do you need a spoon for?
You put it on the spoon and then you eat it. and then it clears out your nostrils.
Oh, I thought it was like something you huff. I thought you were about to like boil it and inject it, you know?
No, you just adults start with 3 drops orally to acquire a taste. Can build up to 5 mils at once if required. Can be used multiple times a day. Children start with 1 drop only. It's got manuka honey, deionized water, menthol crystals, apple cider vinegar, eucalyptus oil, peppermint oil, lemon oil, and aloe vera.
Just sounds like some hippie shit, dude. It sounds like you literally got sold some fucking snake oil.
Possibly. There's no snake oil in it, though. I don't know yet, dude. We're about to find out, all right?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Take a hit of that shit.
Oh, that shit looks fucking foul, dude. That looks fucking
What do you need a
foul.
spoon for? Just pop it in your mouth.
No, I'm going to do... It says 3 drops. I'm going to do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drops.
Dude, this is sober September, dude. You're just trying to get fucked up off eucalyptus.
This shit's going to fuck me up. This is thick, this shit. Real thick, all right? Okay. Here we go, dude. You ready?
Yeah, put that shit in your dick hole and see what happens. How do you feel?
Holy shit, dude. That fucking works.
Yeah, looks like you're awake all of a sudden.
Woo! I think maybe 5 drops was too many.
Yeah, I think so. Your lighting got real. Oh, there you go. You're back. Are you gonna be all right, dude?
I can breathe through both sides of my nose.
That's great. You sound like you're bragging now to me, dude. I'm like,
That's
fuck.
awesome, dude.
Dude, you're making me think about my nose.
I haven't breathed through both sides of my nose in like 8 years.
Now I'm like congested looking at you. Like, I was just talking a lot of shit, but I really want a hit of that.
Dude, holy shit. Dude, serious. I haven't breathed through both sides of my nose in like 8 years. At the same time. That's crazy. Wow. Okay.
Great.
I mean, whoo, dude, I'll send you a vial, eh?
Just listen. Yeah, the rest of this podcast just be listening to you breathe.
God damn. Shoo-wee.
Fuck.
Yeah, so
You're making me think about my nose.
Oh, far out. That's crazy shit, dude. That's wild. So yeah, middle ground, jerking off, you know, I think and edging and stuff. I do like your method of like you're not using you're not going to be using porn, so you've gone above and beyond, right? You've gone and ordered a fucking not just a butt plug, but a fucking I don't know, anal thrasher 3002, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and still haven't gotten it, dude. They pretty much were like, get fucked on it, because like I think I explained this the last episode, but essentially I ordered it while I was high, and I forgot to put my apartment number, and it's been a rigmarole to like I have like a full like email thread with this company being like, please give me my butt plug, and they're like, no. We'll eventually when it gets tried to deliver to your apartment that we don't have the number for like 7 times, then eventually it'll get sent back to us, and then we'll send you another one or credit you. And I'm like, this is so fucking annoying. I was just trying to like all the horniness of like ordering it is completely gone now. I'm just like, what is this? Like, capitalism killed my boner, dude, you know?
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
depressing. That's like,
Yeah,
that's pretty
dude.
depressing, dude.
Yeah. Capitalism killed my boner is like the title of my autobiography.
It's gonna be the title of this podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. Sad.
Capitalism killed my boner. It's not the only
But-
thing capitalism's killed.
No. But honestly, dude, like booze and pots, I'm definitely, I found myself being like, those do, whether I like it or not, those do provide me with a bit of like relaxation and calmness, like when I use them. Obviously you can abuse them and you get to the point of like you're just getting fucked up. But the way that I was using well, I can't say that either. I've definitely used them to excess, and abused both. But it did help me kind of just decompress some, like, most days as well. And I think they're viable tools to have in my life going forward to some capacity. But porn, dude, I don't miss porn at this point. Like I thought that I would, and like I've tried giving up porn before, and then I get horny, and then I'm like, fucking, like, that's a good page. They always got shit on that page, and hit it up, jerk off, whatever. But I don't think I miss it at all. Like, I'm just like, oh, no, this is better. Like I'm building up more, I don't know, like want or anticipation for sex with my missus. And like I'm jerking off, but like I'm just thinking about, like, the sexual experiences I've had, or like my next sexual experience, like what I want to do. So I think it's really made my sex life healthier, for sure. And then it's kind of just like getting the gunk out of your brain, dude. Like, porn is just, it gunks up the wiring, man.
Yeah, it does. I find that, like, this last week being off of it, I've definitely noticed, like, even just like my normal interactions with other women, right? At work, or just seeing women walk past, whether it's at work or out in town, that perception of them has completely changed, right? I'm a little bit of a sexual deviant. I'm like, oh yeah, I fuck the shit out of her, or whatever, and it's not been the case. It's not been the case at all. Like,
Women are people again? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, weird, right? Like,
Fucking
actually,
odd,
like,
bro.
just people
Yeah.
other than
No,
fucking sex.
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I know,
right?
dude. I know exactly what you're saying. I'm like, oh, I forget you have a mind and a personality behind those titties and ass.
Yeah, and I think porn definitely makes it. I don't know. It makes it not difficult, but it you're right. It gunks it up. So like your perception of women is gunked up, because when you look at porn, it's solely them getting fucking railed out, right? And that's it. And how often do you watch like a speech with a woman in it?
I don't know. What do you
Never?
I don't think I watch many speeches in general, but
Okay, how many podcasts do you listen to with women as the hosts?
0.
Right. So your only interaction with women is your wife. Occasionally when you talk to your mom or your auntie, or women friends that you work with, and porn, which is probably a huge chunk of like your interactions with women, right?
Yeah.
So you can see how incels have gone wrong. Yeah, it's like their only interaction with women is just porn. They don't have good relationships with other women outside of that.
That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, so it is kind of like the cliche of like an incel probably would only see women as like a sexual object because that's all they ever get to experience them as.
Right. That's exactly right. They don't, go out and communicate with women in a healthy way. They don't have a conversation with a woman. They're sure as hell not listening to women on podcasts, right? I don't. I love women. I think women are great, but they're not.
Women can
be
do
listening.
podcasts.
Well, I've heard. I don't know. The few episodes, like the few podcasts that I've listened to with women as the host, I'm just like, I don't know, dude. It's not that great. It's not my forte. I don't enjoy listening to women bitch about fucking sex and drugs and alcohol and da 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 da.
I think I do.
Ironic, because that's what we do, right?
Yeah. I mean, it is an interesting question that like I don't listen to. I mean, like I only have like 3 or 4 podcasts that I listen to regularly, but they're all hosted by men.
The last podcast I listened to with women in was that one Joe Rogan did with those 2 girls on. I can't remember their names. I think they're comedians or they're podcast hosts themselves.
But that's not like they're not hosting a podcast. That's Joe's podcast.
Right. And I turned it off because it was so hard to listen to. You know what I mean? It was difficult to listen. And it's not because they're women. It was difficult to listen to because they were constantly cutting each other off. Right? They were just fucking, there was never a conscious thought that was spoke. Right? It was odd. I don't know. But the only other podcast I listen to with women is this one called Red Handed. It's one Kira Lee was listening to for a long time. And it's these 2 English gals.
Is that a true crime?
Yeah, it's a true crime podcast.
Bitches love true crime. Hey,
yeah.
Hold on 1 sec, dude. I'm gonna pee. I'm gonna turn on this fan.
Okay, I'm gonna grab some coffee.
Okay. My dude.
Hello. Why is it that women enjoy true crime podcasts so much? Because I've got a theory, but I'd like to know your thoughts.
I think it's because it very relatable, as in I think like most women, probably have the fear or the at least know that it's a possibility of them being murdered, raped, or pillaged at some capacity. So you're like, oh shit, I gotta know all the possibilities of what to avoid. It's like a survival thing, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas like, I mean like I guess we run the risk of being murdered whenever we step outside. But probably not, like it's not like I mean I guess anybody can have a gun and shoot us. But like if we were to be physically assaulted, pretty much like what, maybe 20% of the population would be able to overpower us. That's extremely high. I would say probably 10 to 5%
right.
of the population could overpower us and murder, rape, pillage, whatever they want.
Right.
But that number's a much higher for women.
Yeah, in general, it's there's probably a lot more anxiety for a woman, even just going out on the street. The chances are a lot higher. And, there's a lot of fucking dirtbags out there that are willing to do those kinds of things to get what they want. As well as there's been kind of a failure by the justice system in preventing this stuff and or taking care of it when it does happen.
I don't know.
I
don't know how much of that is
undeniable.
avoidable.
There are so many rape kits that have gone untested that it's absurd and criminal. It's criminal. Rape kits.
They're like, yeah, we take the swabs and we're like, we just have like a stack in a warehouse somewhere. They're like, we'll get to them.
100%. That's how it is.
Whoa, that's wild.
And it's police departments all over the United States do that. They've got
Is
warehouses
there
of these
just
fucking things.
is there just a lot of rapes, or
Yeah,
is it they're just like, we can't keep up, we can't,
there's a
like
lot of
the
rapes.
lab can't process the
No,
swabs fast enough.
it's not that. It's that it's expensive, right? So a woman gets
Oh,
raped. She goes in and gets a rape kit done, right? If there's not really a guarantee that they're going to find the person, or they don't know who did it, or they're not accusing anybody specific, then to take that rape kit and put it through the process of getting it tested and stuff, to them, it's kind of like, well, it's expensive. There's nobody to compare it to. What do we do? Just put it in a box, put it away. And that's not to say that there's not people they could test it against, but that seriously limits the possibilities of finding that person, which I can understand from that perspective. But when you look at it from a woman's perspective, if she gets raped, she goes into the police department. They tell her she's lying, or they say, "All right, we'll do a rape kit," and then you never hear anything back about it, right? And it happens a lot. Like that's something that Kiera Lee and I have talked about in the past, where a lot of times police they don't they've seen so many rapes and assaults and domestic violence cases where the women go back to their abuser, right? That it's like they become desensitized to it. So half the time, like they might not even believe you. They might not even believe that that actually happened to you. They might just think in their mind, oh, this is just an attention case, or oh, this is just one of those things where, you know, because like from a man's perspective, that's what we think about, right? You know, when we're taught about consent, it's like make sure you get consent from the woman so that she can't turn around and say that you raped her when you didn't, right? That's a big worry
that's
for men, right?
that was definitely a worry that I had in my younger sluttier years, when I was like, I mean, you know, especially if you like it a little rough, you know, you get a little rough in the bedroom, you know, and then all of a sudden you're like, it's kind of, it would kind of just be my word against hers if she decided to say something,
Right.
you know. And
Well,
then by the way, look at like the bruises on her ass from like spanking or something, you know.
yeah,
If that's what she's into,
exactly. If she is, and she might even say she is, and she might not
with
be,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, ugh,
But you look at it from the woman's perspective. It's like, now you're having sex with this dude. He's like, hey, are you into spanking? Or maybe just start spanking the shit out of her. Well, she's got this dude that's probably a lot bigger than she is now smacking her ass while they're having intercourse, right? So does she then
okay.
stop and say, hey, don't spank my ass like that? Well, what if he just decides he's going to continue to do that?
Well, then I think that would be not cool.
Right. It's not cool, but that's because we're cool dudes, right? Like if a woman
Yeah.
says, hey, I don't like being spanked, we're like, oh, shit, my
Let
bad.
the
I won't do
let the
that.
record show that we're cool dudes. No, no, I did have a situation one time where I was dating, pseudo dating, like we weren't, you know, friends with benefits type deal. Um, and this chick did like it a bit more rough, but she also just bruised like a banana, dude. Like if you I don't, like if the wind blew too hard, she got a bruise on her, kind
Whoa.
of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she also had a problem with not Ambien. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Klonopin.
Okay.
I'm not. I think it was like an anti anxiety anti something or another. Um, but like, and then she would drink, of course, because we were always drinking. So like she was just on like this fucking booze, whatever the other. I wish I could remember what that drug's for, but this Klonopin cocktail, and then we'd fuck, and then we'd like wake up next morning. I'd be like, "Whew, good sex last night," and she'd be like, "Huh?" And I'm like, no, like, like I'm like, you don't get to do like, no, 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 no. You don't get to just forget,
Yeah.
like, because you start looking around over your, and I'm like, no, no, this was, no, dude,
Yeah.
you're not gonna, I'm not going down like that. God damn it.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, dude, that's scary as a guy, right? Because you're like, fucking, now this chick just doesn't fucking remember us having sex. And she doesn't even
Yeah.
have to do it out of malice, right? She could genuinely think that, oh, dude, this guy fucked the shit out of me and beat the fuck out of me, and I don't even remember. I don't think I wanted to do that. That's all it takes. Boom, done. That's it. Done. Finished.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is, of course, if the police officers at the fucking police department even take her word for what it is, right? If they even do a rape kit, or if they do, even if they even test it, right? Yeah, it's weird shit, weird situation that we've kind of gotten ourselves into. A lot of it, I think, just boils down to respect. Like, do you remember when I was fucking couple of years back, they were talking about the consent forms in universities? Where they were printing off consent forms that like you had to sign before they wanted people to sign before they had sex, so there was no
Not a bad idea, dude.
question.
Honestly,
Not a bad
honestly, dude, I'm kind of game for that.
idea. Right. Same side of the token, dude. Don't need it. All right. If people just stop being cunts to each other, right? Men stop trying to get chicks fucked up so they can fuck them easier, and women stop getting fucked up around dudes that they don't trust. Problem solved. We don't have to do this anymore. And I think a lot of that comes down to education.
That's never gonna happen, dude.
Why?
Dude, like, how do you think our species has, like, since alcohol has been introduced, we were like, oh, lowers inhibitions. Like, we became all about, okay, how do we mix alcohol and fucking
Right.
as a collective species, not just men or women, but
Right. It's not about the alcohol, though. It's about the people that you're drinking that alcohol with. All right.
is your recommendation make better decisions? Like,
Yes.
yeah, I think
Yes.
think
That's it.
people
That's-
get that.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's make better decisions. Stop drinking with fucking frat dudes whose second name is fucking Thaddeus. Okay.
But bro, we're
know?
fucking 30. Of course we think that. But
Yeah,
when we
I
were
know.
when we were fucking 19, 20, bro,
Yeah.
like 20, like even before we were legal to drink, I was still getting fucked up.
Right.
I didn't have that forethought to
that was a bad decision. You know what I mean? That was poor decision making skills. Based
my point
off of
is
you.
my point is that, like, I don't think that's going anywhere, dude.
Well, it could if we teach kids the right way to do things, right?
Oh, if only everybody acted like us and did exactly what we wanted them to. The kids would be all right.
Yeah, exactly.
If they just listened to us when we warned them about the dangers of alcohol.
Right, because it makes so much more sense to force every fucking teenager to sign a consent form before they have sex. Right?
Well,
that makes so much more sense.
I mean,
Doesn't make nonsense.
legal violence sounds good to me, dude.
See, I think we should just put chastity belts on men and women, right? Until they're fucking 18 years old.
Yeah, that's
No more genital touching at all till you're 18. You're not allowed to change your gender. You're not allowed to fuck around with your genitals. You can jerk off and fucking flick the bean. That's it. Oh, then we get a whole generation of kids addicted to pornography. Fuck, man, dude. Why is parenting so complicated, dude?
I think you just gotta accept that, like, your kids are gonna make poor decisions. Like, that's part of being a person, is, and like experiencing new things, is like you're probably gonna make some mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, you just hope that, like, they don't make colossal mistakes, you know, starting out and like put themselves in a really bad position with really shitty people. But you pretty much just gotta hope, you know, I think, and like hope that you've guided them enough to be like, hey, this is how you judge character of a person,
Right.
and just hope.
Well, I think that's what it boils down to, right? Is giving your kids the tools to be able to make good decisions, right? They might not use the tools, but they have the tools, right? And instilling in them the importance of the tools, being able to determine whether or not this person's a good cunt to drink with or not. You know what I mean? It's kind of
Yeah,
like,
but like that just kind of sounds like you're covering your own ass. Like, well, yeah, my kid made a poor decision, went to a party and got raped or whatever. But like at least I gave him good tools. Like they should have known better not to do that.
well, see, and then that's another thing, right? If a kid rapes my kid, that kid ain't coming back. That kid's dead.
Now
He's
you're
dead.
killing. Now you're.
Yeah, I'll kill kids.
Great.
I'll kill
You're
kids.
killing. You're killing.
And then I'll
kids.
kill their parents as well for allowing their, like, teaching their
Sure.
kid that rape is okay. I kill them as well. I actually just eliminate the whole bloodline. How's that?
I don't. Yeah. You're coming up. Yeah. This is pretty good policy. You're coming up with
Earth,
here.
motherfucker. I don't give a fuck. Who taught you how to
Yeah.
rape? Your parents? They're dead. Who taught them how to rape? Your grandparents? Dead. Fuck. I'll go back in time. I'll just go back in time and take care of the whole problem.
This is
Dead.
this is a heavy rape podcast.
Yeah, we should get off the subject of rape. Rape bad, drinking good, miss it a lot. Talk to me about silliness, my friend.
Okay. Yeah. I'll break this one down for you.
Okay.
Yeah. The heavy one today.
Yeah, let's do some fucking shit.
Get out the rape.
Get that rape out of our minds.
Fuck. All right.
I can breathe through both sides of my nose.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
The loss of silliness. This is something that I started thinking about. I think because my mind is so clear now, I can like more shit's coming up, dude. You know, like it's like before I was like masking, issues or like the dark corners of my mind. I would start walking that way, and then I'd be like, have a drink, and then I'd be like, oh shit, all right, so avoid that corner then.
Right.
Like, oh fuck that corner. And now I'm just like, what's over there? Oh fuck, that's some shit I probably gotta fucking deal with. But one of the first indices that I think I kind of approached was that I think I realized of late that I just kind of got less silly. And like things are just bothering me, like I'm more agitated, or like I'm quicker to like be annoyed with something. And then I think that translates to like I'm less playful in my interactions with people. And that definitely made me sad. Yes.
What was the instance where you realized this? Do you know? Was it just something that popped in your head, or was there an actual moment?
I think I was actually thinking about our friendship.
Oh, right.
In that, like, a large part of our friendship is just like silly, Like, I think that's something that we bond over. I think it's super important. And I was like, man, like I don't know when's like besides the podcast, like when was the last time me and Mike and just like we're just silly together, And I was like, like is it me? Like am I getting less silly as I get older? Or as time goes on? Which was my first thought. Like that was where I first started. And then I think it evolved more into that was more like a sadness, and I was like, fuck, like I need to get silly again. I want to be sillier.
I want to be silly.
I want to be silly with my friends and family, Whereas I think I was like, do I have to make this a conscious effort now? When this is something that just used to become so easy to me. so that was confusing, but then I started thinking of, or I was talking to Janie the other day about, I think just some of those dark corners of my mind now. I'm starting to like are illuminated, and I don't have booze and pot to mask them or to like glaze over them,
Right.
and I'm like. I'm just like I have such like a negative bias in my brain and like I talk so shitty to myself like inside my own head, and I'm like, oh, I think I really need to like really need to work on this. Where it's like almost damn, it's fucking shitting down rain here. Where like in a way, like I pride myself on my ability to self-reflect, right? Like to think about how I'm behaving in a situation, be like, oh, you know, I fucked that up. You know what? I didn't like that interaction. I need to be better about that. But I think at some point or maybe just, oops, sorry. Or maybe just since forever, I've just skewed so hard to being like so negative on myself, being like no, like you're not. I'm struggling to think of an example now, but like I've just never talked to myself very nicely, and I think I used to kind of use that as like, oh no, I'm like bettering myself, like I'm not giving myself any breaks because I want self improvement.
Right.
But when I was talking to Janie, I was like, I think I'm just systematically making myself like a miserable fuck.
Yeah.
You know, and like I really need to work on this this like negative self-talk.
Yeah.
What's going on, dude?
Closing these shades a bit more.
Oh, okay.
Solve that lighting problem. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
No, you're good. And then Jenny brought up a good point of like, she was like, well, look at how you grew up. And I was like, oh, fuck, here we go. And she was like, she pointed out that like my mom is a super negative person. My pretty much my entire family is like super negative. You know, they're always bitching about something. Something's always fucked up. Something's never good enough, or like without a caveat. You know, even like happy things aren't without a caveat. And I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. Like how, because I used to think that I was just like, oh, you know, like my parents didn't really affect me.
Right.
I was just like, oh, they kind of
silly.
Yeah, I know.
Big silly.
Yeah, well, like I just thought that they served as like counter examples, and like that was like, you know what? I'm gonna be super independent. I'm gonna build my own, you know,
Life.
worth and brand and personality myself.
Right.
And I think I really believed that for a long time, that I just somehow escaped unscathed from these like shitty mindsets of my youth.
Right.
And now I'm starting to be like, damn, I didn't. I don't think I escaped it, dude. I think I got a heavy dose of at least this like negativity bias, I want to say, but I think it goes a bit deeper than that, even, because like I think the human mind is set up with a negativity bias. I think we both heard that before, but like I think just my particular case is like a more ruthless, like dark version of negativity that I'm like, oh fuck, this is mommy issues, isn't it? God damn it.
You never get away from my. I know how you feel, dude.
Damn it, dude. This is fucking mommy issues for sure. So yeah. That was just a kind of like a talk and a realization that I had.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. I think it's good. How have you? I do have some thoughts on it, but have you kind of changed the way you have your internal monologue now to yourself? Have you changed the way that you perceive yourself, or like trying to anyway, or how do you do that?
I think it's a bit like turning a cruise ship, you know. There's you can't jet ski 90-degree that motherfucker, you know. It's a slow
I reckon you
process.
could. It would just hurt really bad. It'd cause more damage than good, you know.
Cat size the whole ship. Yeah.
Right.
I think recognizing it and like laying it out in that language is important. Like you kind of can't work on a problem until you name it, you know.
Right.
So I mean, no, I guess I haven't really done too much. I like bought a journal, you know. I'm trying to like journal and think about that more. But honestly, dude, I'm like, fuck, this sounds like a therapy problem. This sounds like I mean, like, I'm sure I could, you know, deal with it on my own to some extent, and, you know, do pretty well, do my own research, you know. I'm like, I could figure out, you know, enough of tools on how to deal with that like negative self monologue, but I'm also just like, fuck. And I think that might be a therapy thing if I'm trying to be efficient, for sure.
Right.
If I'm trying to turn that cruise ship a little bit faster.
There's a fine line between being a realist and being a cynist. Right. There's like being a realist is recognizing, man, I fucked up. This is what I need to work on. If I can, someone comes to you with a problem, like, oh, all right, well, this is where you need to work on it. This is where this does suck. Yeah, I get it. This is the situation, whatever. Cynicism is like the inability to, I guess, the inability, but like that view of what's going on becomes a lot darker. So, right, like it's hard for you to give yourself props, because if you give yourself any leeway, now you're going backwards, right? You're not working towards the thing, you're not moving forwards towards the thing. Now you're like, oh, fucking good, attaboy, you know. Now I'm slipping back. And then that's what I've found in myself is like, if I fucking because I'm deathly afraid of telling myself that I did good. Deathly afraid of it. Terrifies me. I don't know why. It just does. And it's not like I didn't get told I did a good job growing up. It's not like I got taught by my family how to, you know what, my family bottles things up. We communicate with each other. We have really long conversations, but we bottle things up, right? So I think, oh man, I'm talking super fast. I need to slow down my talking now.
Is it like a fear of complacency? Like if you tell yourself that you did a good job, you're like, job's done?
Yeah, I guess it probably would be tied to something like that. I think it's similar to how you view you needing to always move forward, to always improve on yourself. But you can do that without being negative on yourself, right? You don't have to be negative to move yourself forward, to motivate yourself. But I think we're very negatively geared, right? That's how the Marine Corps operates, is negative gearing. That's how
Sure.
a lot of relationships that we've had in the past, negative gearing. I don't know. It's a really strange thing. And, you know, we come from kind of similar but wildly different backgrounds, right? You know, but I'm starting to realize as time goes on that I think a lot of us had almost the exact same childhoods, right? You know, there's a lot of differences in like the way we were parented, but ultimately we experienced a lot of the same shit as kids, as the next kid and the next kid. There's not a lot of kids I know that didn't have to go through, you know, feeling, what's a good example? Feeling like our parents never listened to us, right? Like, there's been times in my life where I feel like my mom didn't listen to me very well. Kiralee has the same thing. I'm sure you have similar things. Fucking most people I know have that. And even people that have parents that are super open and very welcoming to new ideas and open communication and stuff, even they feel like they weren't listened to. It's part of the human condition, I think, is experiencing and recognizing that, like, sorry, not recognizing, experiencing that feeling of not being listened to. That's one single example, but I kind of think that being able to look at a situation that you're in and say, you have to be 100% honest with yourself, right? You have to be a realist. You have to be honest. But you also have to have hope, right? So you have to be able to look at the situation like, yeah, this is how I fucking talked nasty to Curly, right? This is why I was being a fucking cunt bag this morning, right? This is the things that I need to fucking work on. But also I need to recognize that jerking off isn't a crutch to make me nicer. It's just that made me feel better in the short term, right? I can't say, wow, I'm an asshole unless I jerk off. That's not realist. That's crutchist, or that's an crutchist, you know? That's using jerking off as a reason for me being nice, or not jerking off as me using it as a reason to be a cunt, right? But
I think
also,
oh, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, also, I recognize that that does have an effect. Everything does have an effect. Not drinking, not smoking, not jerking off, not watching porn. Doing those things versus not doing those things. They all have these little pieces of an effect on the way you interact with the world around you, especially your relationships and stuff. So, I don't know. I think... I don't know. I think as a person, you inspire me in the sense that you've had a childhood in which your fucking family was so negative that you've like, I'm fucking not gonna be that, and you're not really. You've there's just glimpses of it, right? What you're recognizing now. There's like parts
Well,
of your personality where it's like undeniably this is tied to that, but
yeah.
you have to remember, you still have done all those things that you said you were going to do. You still moved away. You still changed your personality. You still went out and are successful as far as like being in your relationships with people around you, your job, the family that you've made for yourself. Because that's ultimately what you've done, is you've seen the downfalls, the pitfalls in the family that you were born into, and you've created the family that not only did you always want, but one that's healthy, right? One that's healthy and helps you to grow into a better person, a better version of yourself, right?
Yeah, I think that just for a long time I was like, yeah, no, I got out, no dramas, no sweat of that mindset, and then I've been like, how utterly naive of me to think that, you know, the first 17 years of my life didn't affect some complex in my head, you know, as far as how I interact with the world or myself. And I think you're right. For the most part, the way that I interact with people in my relationships, I'm pretty satisfied with. Honestly, I feel like I'm pretty honest with those in my life. I'm respectful. I'm like, I care, you know, about those people. I feel like from like a just perspective, that didn't make any sense, but where I realize that I'm lacking is inside my own head, and like the way that I talk to myself. And I was like, ew, fuck. Where it's kind of like I have like a ruthlessness in my my critique of myself, and it's kind of like a tool set, right? It's kind of like I I got every power tool, like supercharged, like specialized tool you can think of as far as like refining um like myself and my relationships and doing that well. But then when it comes to like the tools I have for like bettering my internal self-talk, I have like a rusty screwdriver. And I'm just like, oh shit. I think I need more tools than just that.
My tool
Yeah.
bag is fucking lacking, bro. Yeah.
So, yeah, that was kind of more or less my realization that honestly, I think not drinking helps me come to, like I don't think I would have discovered that about myself had I, just kept drinking. You kept like not sitting with this like uncomfortableness of sobriety and analyzing it, and then discussing it with Janie, with you, and then and now I'm like, duh, of course this is a problem that I've been avoiding, that I buried or that I didn't realize was a problem until I've really been forced to sit with it in my sobriety.
Right. Man.
Take
weird.
time off drinking, folks. You learn
weird.
shit about yourself.
You do. Yeah. Same with smoking. Take time off smoking. You learn a lot about yourself. Not just that you miss those things, but the reasons why you miss those things. And sometimes the reasons why you miss those things is because you're afraid to look in the mirror. Because sometimes you don't like what's looking back at you. To properly analyze who you are as a person is a fucking terrifying thing. I was actually having this last night. I was out having a cigarette before bed. Curly had already gone to sleep. And I was just in a negative mood. I was in a negative mood from the time I woke up from my nap. I woke up from my nap, which I don't normally have one, and I was just grumpy buns, dude, the whole day, the whole afternoon. And I was sitting out having a smoke, just sitting there. I wasn't looking at anything, wasn't listening to anything. I was just out there having a smoke, watching the fan spin, and just why am I being, and I was doing that. I was going through this inner monologue in my head, like, fucking, you're just such a fucking grumpy piece of shit. Fucking, you can't even go fucking 2 weeks without jerking off. You can't even go 2.5 weeks or 2 weeks or a week without drinking or wanting to smoke or, the only thing I think I've really like gotten under control is not wanting to watch porn. Easy, right? That one's easy. Just delete it. You don't have to worry or think about it anymore. But the other stuff is like, every time I feed the cat, there's a bunch of beer in the fridge. And I'm like, I don't really want a beer. I never think about wanting to have a beer throughout the week. But now that I'm not having them, I'm like, oh, dude, I fucking really want a beer really fucking bad. And I was just sitting there fucking brooding. I was just soaking in the negative energy. And I had this moment and I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. Get over yourself. Right? Like, it's negative. Yeah, you feel bad. Sure. Fucking, you made some mistakes today. Whatever. Fucking make up for it tomorrow. Apologize to Kira. I didn't, because I was still grumpy when I woke up this morning. I'm going to apologize to her when she comes out. Because I recognized today that I'm like being a fucking negative buns, dude, and stuff. So,
Yeah.
But it's easy. It's easy to fall into that. Like, man, you're fucking suck, dude. Look at this. Look at all these faults you got. Look at all these things that you suck at. And you're not even reading a book about finance right now. You're just sitting out having a cigarette. You're not even watching videos about fucking audio production and video production. You're just sitting out here fucking looking at a fan that's not even spinning and fucking brooding. You fucking piece of shit. It's like sometimes you just got to do that, for one. Two, you can't fucking better yourself 24/7 because ultimately, if you try to do that, at some point, you're going to stop bettering yourself and you're actually going to start moving backwards. It's like working out, right? I thought I had the balls, I had the gall, I had the hubris to say, I'm going to work out 7 days a week for a month. Every day I'm going to work out. Every single fucking day, dude. And you know what? Thursday come around, do you think I did any fucking exercise? Fuck no, bro. I was so fucking tired. And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm getting hard on myself. I'm like, fuck, dude, I didn't even work out today. I didn't fucking do this. And of course not. I'm fucking exhausted. You gotta take a break. You gotta fucking take that deep breath. You gotta suck down some fucking weird-ass chemicals so you can breathe through both sides of your nose at the same time for just a moment. You just gotta take that breath. And then just fucking, you gotta inhale power and exhale fear. All right, you just gotta get that shit out of your fucking system. Okay, you just gotta fucking let it go and let shit flow off you like water. There's weird fucking wisdom in simple things like fucking cricks. You know, you see the water flowing over the rocks. Do the rock fucking care? No. Does the water fucking care? Fuck no. They're just doing what they're designed to do, and that's just the way it is. The water goes around the path of least resistance, and the rocks try to put up their fight, and ultimately they become withered down or moved along by the water. And that's what we got to do in our life, right? The water's going to flow. Water's flowing. You can't stop the flow. You might be able to change the direction. You might be able to direct it in a certain way, you know, go in a certain direction that you want to.
You're really taking this water metaphor pretty wild.
Water,
I'm glad you brought it back to the metaphor. Yeah. I think we can wrap this up by saying, be nicer to yourself, folks. Yeah. Try that. Try that. And that's about all that's my rusty screwdriver tool set right now. So I'll let you know when I come up with something better than that.
Yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
Don't give up on me. Taking my time.